We've all heard the saying that those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it, but you've smartly saved yourself from that fate by taking AP U.S. history. Bravo to you. Of course, you're not fully out of the woods yet. You'll still have to prove your knowledge of history by sitting for the AP exam and getting a great score, of course. And that's probably why you've decided to watch this very video. Here's the deal. The AP U.S. history exam clocks in at 3 hours and 15 minutes. Is it long? Well, yeah, it's roughly 1 hour and 15 minutes longer than the fastest marathon time. But what else could you accomplish in just those 3 hours? You could roast a 15-pound turkey, assemble something from IKEA maybe, watch Gone with the Wind or The Godfather. But honestly, none of those things sound as satisfying as earning possible college credit. Folks, we're nerds here at the Princeton Review, we know it, but if you're watching this video, you might be one too. Plus, by now, you're an old pro at endurance testing exams, so you can totally handle a measly 3 hours. Now, the AP U.S. history exam is changing with the May 2020 administration, and we're gonna get to exactly how, but first, here's what you need to know. The test itself is broken down into 2 parts, with each containing 2 subsections. Wondering why the College Board just didn't divide it into 4 separate sections? Now there's a mystery on par with why First Lady Dolly Madison had a preference for oyster ice cream. Anyway, the first subsection, and section 1A, if you will, is multiple choice. You'll have 55 minutes to answer, coincidentally, 55 questions. These questions are grouped together in sets of 3 to 4. Each set is based on 1 or more historical texts, evidence, and interpretations. These will include both primary and secondary sources, fancy, maps, graphs, and other assorted images. All in all, the multiple choice will account for 40% of your overall score. That's nearly half. So you'll want to prep like nearly half of your potential future 2 semesters of college credit depends on it. Luckily, with 55 multiple choice questions, you'll have lots of opportunity to rack up points. Now we'll move along to section 1B, since that's the next section. It's also the section that was updated for the 2020 exam to be more closely aligned with the skills taught in the AP U.S. history course. Here, you'll have 40 minutes to tackle 3 short answer questions. This will account for 20% of your overall score. And once again, you'll be asked to analyze historical sources. That'll include texts, images, maps, etc., plus interpretations and propositions. Now, the first question will focus on historical events or developments that occurred between 1754 and 1980. Thanks for making that super narrow, College Board. It will also include 1 to 2 secondary sources. The second question also touches upon a historical development between 1754 and 1980, that same trusty time span. So how does this question differ from the first? Well, question 2 will provide 1 primary source. Of course, the fun really kicks into high gear with the third question. That's because you're allowed to choose between 2 question options. The first will be centered around some historical process that occurred between 1491 and 1877. The second one will pertain to an event between the years 1864 and 2001. Neither question asks you to consult the sources. And now, friends, we have arrived at the second section of the exam, more precisely, section 2A. This will consist of a single document-based question. You'll have an hour, which includes a 15-minute reading period, and your response will make up 25% of your score. Now, this question provides 7 different documents that offer a range of perspectives on a particular historical events. Now, these can be a combination of written, visual, as well as quantitative materials. After taking time to analyze these, you'll be asked to develop an argument that's supported by the documents supplied. The potential topics will be focused on a time period between 1754 and 1980. And now, by that time, you're expecting that range. All right. We've made it to the last section, in other words, the illustrious section 2B, the long essay. You'll be given 40 full minutes to craft your responses. The final section accounts for 15% of your score. Naturally, you'll have to analyze and explain an important issue within U.S. history, and you'll be required to construct a strong argument that's bolstered by historical evidence. As a final gift, you'll have an opportunity to choose from 3 potential questions. The first will be focused on historical development that occurred between 1491 and 1800. the second from 1800 to 1898, and the third from 1890 to 2001. No matter which question you choose, you must demonstrate a sound reasoning process. This means tackling the 4 C's: comparison, causation, continuity, and change. If you clearly address these factors in your response, you'll be awarded all of the possible points. And in case you're wondering, there are 6 of those. It sounds like a lot, but it's nothing you can't handle in 3 hours and 15 minutes. So grab a copy of one of our new, updated for 2020 editions of AP U.S. History. You will love it. Our premium edition features 5 full-length practice tests, and our standard edition has 2. And when May rolls around, you'll be ready to earn that 5. And those potential 2 semesters worth of college credit. And of course, our admiration and full respect. Folks, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to our channel for all the latest updates about AP exams and everything else in your test prep, college-bound, beautiful world.